Hi guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Pieter-Louis.
Welcome back to Legend and Lore, a world tour. This week we're heading into the wild, storm-drenched plains of Venezuela and Colombia, deep into the heart of the Llanos country, where a ghostly whisper roams beneath the stars, carrying the bones of the dead and searching for his next victim. But first, picture this. A muggy night on the edge of the Llanos. The stars are hidden behind low, restless clouds. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rumbles like a warning. A man stumbles down a dirt path, humming, the smell of aguardiente still clinging to his breath. He whistles off-key, unaware of the shape moving in the trees behind him. There's another whistle, soft, perfectly tuned. Not in front of him, not behind him, everywhere and nowhere. He looks around, heart racing, but sees nothing. The wind picks up. Something brushes past his shoulder. The whistle sounds again, closer. He starts to run, but it's too late. The last thing he hears is the haunting melody and the rattle of bones. Welcome to the tale of El Silbón, the Whistler, a ghost, a warning, and for some, a death sentence.
I'm glad we're moving on from Europe and Africa and Asia, just going back to the west, to America's west, back to the east.
I don't really pick a place, I pick a...
It's just something different, Venezuela, Colombia, poorer countries, but on the western side of the world. Well, depending on where you locate it, but it's the western side anyway. Yeah. So basically, we've got a ghost.
Yes.
Of so it's part of the Ghost Valley people thingy. Not a vampire, but I'm guessing you're going to change my mind at some point.
No, he's not a vampire. I don't really feel he's a ghost. He's something. If I really have to categorize him, I'd say he's a zombie, but it doesn't say that here. But
it's not a mermaid.
Why would it be?
For some weird reason, everything ends up at bodies of water, and then there's mermaids. And
you need help.
But think about the thing we spoke about last week or last time was the mermaid thing, or people or ghosts at bodies of water kind of does. I'm guessing we're going towards water now.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Anyway, sorry, no, I've just got this idea.
Completely off of the...
Yeah, I'm falling off the horse, but I'm just saying that in the poorer countries, for some weird reason, they tend to have a ghost near water. Anyway, so while we're at the poorer countries, so Venezuela, I believe, is now at the worst ranked currency in the world at the moment. It means inflation is over 1,000%.
How did we go from El Silbón to what?
Just saying that it's going to have to do something with it. It's the way, it's the culture of the people.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. Not even a little bit.
I'm fighting a mic stand. It is done fighting.
Which is why we're discussing it.
Anyway,
Mike.
No, just saying that I'm setting the tone for, and I've said this before. It's people are more gullible to stories when they're more faithful, and more faithful people tend to be the more hopeless people, the poorer countries.
They'll believe more.
They'll believe more. You do tend,
I
like I
don't
said,
agree with
especially like in Indonesia and so on. They do believe in little dolls in the woods, just because.
No, it's not just because. There's reasons.
Yeah, there's reasons. Like that is part of the culture, part of the belief, but just
because people with more money is less, more critical. Let's put it that way. More critical, and you have to prove it to me. Doesn't mean they're right.
No, I'm not saying anybody's right. I'm just saying the poorer countries and the countries of the less fortunate countries are easily faithful. Well, that's a very deep word. I should patent that. Anyway.
No, it doesn't have to do anything with faith. But yes, they believe more.
But even like the Tokoroshi we spoke about, it is. You want to believe something's going to make your life better or worse, and then you will follow it. Just saying that, I'm saying that might be why people find ghosts easier.
You
Anyway,
do realize you can say the same about Christianity, which we believe in. You do realize that.
but that's why it gets exploited so easily.
You can say it about anything, it doesn't make it true. But anyway, let's move on because we went way off track here. I do not agree with you that they believe in it just because they're a poorer country.
I don't know the story yet. I'm going to hear what you're saying.
That's
No,
my
I'm just
point.
saying
You're
that I think that's
going
where we're going.
completely off trail
Just
here.
saying, I know.
Let me tell everybody who El
Okay.
Silbón is, and then you can...
How do you say it? Silbón. Silbón.
El Sil-
S-I-L.
Google says Silbón. El Silbón. So I did go and actually try and get the pronunciation and listen to it. It's El Silbón,
Okay, Silbón.
if I'm doing it correctly, but that's how I
What
got
does that
from
mean?
Google.
It's just a name. What does it translate to?
I don't know the actual translation, no. It's just the name. Wait, no, the name, it is somewhere here.
The Whistler.
Yes,
Does it
sorry.
mean the Whistler or does it
Yes,
just represent the
yes.
Whistler?
You've got me completely off of my entire script. I'm like, what are you talking about?
We have to kind of get off track at some point.
I was more focused on the argudente, which is alcohol, but that's later. That'll come. Spirits.
Well, according to Google, El
It's the
Silbón
Whistler.
does not translate to anything. It's a name.
No, it is the Whistler. I think
The
you'll get it
Silbón.
on Wikipedia. So
No, Google Translate just says El Silbón is the Silbón, which I'm guessing is a name and a name.
maybe it is just because there's a reason it's
Mm.
called the Whistler, so maybe it's not. El Silbón, let's just see. El Silbón, the Whistler, is legendary. No, I'm just going to give you the whole thing now. Okay, now let's just continue. And he's known as El Silbón. Maybe that's just his name, who he was.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, where was I? The legend of El Silbón is one of the most chilling folklore stories from Latin America, especially in the rural plains of Venezuela and Colombia. While there are variations, he is often described as a towering skeletal figure, sometimes over 2 meters tall, with sunken eyes and tattered clothes. He roams the countryside whistling a 7-note tune, carrying a sack on his back filled with bones, the bones of his victims, or, more disturbingly, the bones of his own father. Let's rewind.
While we're there, so we are going into the cryptid side now because this is a lot like Slenderman.
Cryptid.
A cryptid is a internet tale of a tall, skinny figure that lives in the woods.
Just let me tell my story.
Okay, cryptid, long, Slenderman, but not Slenderman, ghost.
It's not him.
Okay.
The original story is tragic. According to the legend, El Silbón was once a spoiled, violent young man. One night, he demanded that his father hunt and cook a deer for dinner. When the man failed, the boy flew into a rage and killed his father. Some say he gutted him. Others say he tore out his heart and liver and brought it to his mother to cook. When she found the meat tough, she realized something was wrong and found out what really happened. The mother, horrified, cursed him on the spot. From there, the story splits depending on who you ask. In one version, the boy's grandfather tied him to a tree, beat him, and unleashed wild dogs on him. In another, he was banished, condemned to wander the earth for eternity, carrying the bones of his murdered father. So he always has a bag on his back in all the stories. It just depends on if it's his victims or if it's his father's bones. But mostly it's his father's bones that he has to
Does
carry.
the bones do anything? Do they
No,
rattle?
it's just his punishment to carry it
so
around.
he's
with
carrying
him.
something. So this tall guy is carrying something on his back.
A bag with his father's bones. Or
Who
his
says there's
victim.
bones in there? Who knows there's bones?
I'm guessing it's the clicking of the bones, I don't know, the people who saw him and survived.
Okay.
Either way, his soul became a cursed spirit, El Silbón. Now here's the truly eerie part. It's said that if you hear his whistle from close, you're safe. But if you hear it far, it's already too late. Let that sink in. A soft, melodic whistle, too close, you're fine. Too far, you should be terrified. The whistle always plays in the same 7 ascending and descending notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and back. Drifts through the plains. Some call it a warning. Others believe it's a countdown to your death. Who does Silbón target? Primarily drunkards, womanizers, and abusive men. He punishes those who hurt their families or indulges in excess, especially when those actions echo his own tragic past. He'll appear suddenly behind you, especially if you're alone and intoxicated. And you won't even realize you've been marked until it's too late.
So he just targets bad people.
Yes, basically.
So it's a creepy tall person in the forest Superman thing.
Targeting drunk people, bad people, women abusers, yes.
So he killed his father, and his curse is not to kill bad people.
I don't know if it's his curse to kill bad people. His curse to stay out there. I don't know if he needs to kill or if he just decided he's going to kill people like him.
Okay, let's I want to see where this goes. How much have we got left?
There's not something specific there.
But you said there are survivors, so there's people that could actually... Are we getting to survivors at some point?
No, I don't have an actual account from somebody.
So nobody actually knows. So who heard the melody? How do you know it's a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti?
Like any legend goes, there's whispers between communities, people telling the story, people writing about the story, hearing from the locals. It's the...
Don't you think this ties into some of the other stories we've done?
No, I don't feel... I know you just fixate on the long, tall...
No, not just that. It just feels a lot... I almost want to say the black-eyed kids, but not even that.
Not even close, no.
It just...
No, it doesn't feel like any of the other stories, no.
It might be a werewolf.
Nope, not even
Not
close.
a werewolf. Okay, no, it's just... I'm trying to understand why this exists and who does it appeal to.
Why does it have to appeal to somebody?
Well, someone has to tell someone the story. Why?
Because they heard a beautiful whistle from far and all of a sudden they were attacked.
Okay, let's get to the logistics behind it. So how do they know that if you hear the whistle from afar that you're going to die? Because then you're going to be dead. Oh, were there survivors from far?
Some people could have survived. Obviously.
Hearing it from a close.
Some people could have been in groups, you never know. So, and he attacked the bad person in the group and the other ran away. There could have been somebody standing on a corner and seen him attack them and rip them apart. You don't know.
Okay, and is there any forest that it's specific to? Is there a space where I can go and look for said Silbón?
I didn't exactly go look for where exactly I can
Venezuela
go
and
to
Colombia,
find it.
so I actually don't know much about Venezuela and Colombia, but I'm guessing it's...
I wasn't planning on going looking for him, so I didn't look for that specific...
Everything's always got this where it is and how it is. In my mind, usually when you talk about Europe and Indonesia, I've got an idea of what the country looks like. Venezuela does feel like it might be like populated cities, but then have a lot of foresty or beach or... especially like rainforest, because it is South America. So I'm thinking rainforest. So it's quite all over the place.
I honestly don't know.
Colombia is a rainforest, isn't it?
Isn't
it
it
part of the
beaches
Amazon? Almost Amazon.
I don't know. I'm thinking of beaches, but that might just be me wanting to go back to the ocean. So I don't know. I honestly didn't look that deep into where it is or where specifically it can be found. I looked more into who he is and what he does.
So basically, I shouldn't go out into the forest drunk.
Well, you're not really an abuser, so I don't... Well, maybe he attacks you just because you're drunk. I don't know. I didn't see him attacking students or young kids or whatever. Yeah, for safety, don't get drunk and walk around the streets. Stay at home.
Okay.
Drink at home, stay at home, be safe. So, okay. Some versions of the tale say he sucks the alcohol out of his victims before killing them. Maybe he just really wants alcohol.
Maybe.
Others say he merely frightens them, instilling such terror that he never drinks again. Or that they never drink again, sorry. And in the harshest version, He breaks their bones and adds them to his cursed sack. The warning signs? Unexplained whistles, a sudden drop in temperature, a smell of rotting flesh, and sometimes the sound of bones clicking softly in the wind. Despite his horrifying presence, Silbón has strangely become a part of cultural identity. He appears in festivals, murals, even children's books and songs. He often portrays wearing a wide-brimmed hat with long limbs and glowing eyes. Some statues depict him dragging his bag behind him, stooped under its weight. It's as though his punishment is never ending and he knows it. Some villagers leaves out offerings or avoids whistling at night altogether, fearing they might accidentally summon him.
Right, so they're afraid to whistle.
Yes, they're afraid to whistle.
So you won't whistle because it whistles, so you might call it.
They're scared you call, yes. You call him.
That's a very weird assumption to make.
No, I wouldn't whistle there. I know better now.
Isn't there another lure about whistling?
Not that I know of, no. I'll go look for it next week.
No, I'm gonna Google it while we're busy.
Okay, you do that. Let me know. So, a few things that is said to repel him is a barking dog, garlic, a whip, and the Lord's Prayer. In one account from Barinas, Venezuela, a man claimed to have seen a tall, thin figure pass through his backyard after a night of heavy drinking. His dog refused to move for hours afterward. He never drank again. Another tale from Casanora, Colombia, speaks of a group of teenagers camping in the plains. One of them, as a joke, whistled the 7 notes. That night he awoke to find long scratches down the side of his tent, a single human tooth outside the flap. So he lost some of his bones, apparently. Not the kid, the whistler.
The bone fell out of his sack, basically.
Yes.
A tooth specifically.
I'm guessing, yes.
So this is just maybe a tall tooth fairy.
Is this a coincidence? That they found the scratches and the tooth? Maybe. Of course, there are skeptics. Some believe Silbón is simply a cautionary tale created to discourage bad behavior in young men, especially in patriarchal rural communities. Others say the phenomenon or phantom whistling can be explained by birds, wind patterns, or even the trick of acoustics across flat plains. Psychologists might argue that the story taps into deep cultural guilt or social norms. Anthropologists often cite it as a prime example of moral folklore, like La Llorona or Al-Kushkai. Sorry guys, that
Al-Kukai.
Al-Kukai. Okay, let's go with that. Designed to scare people straight.
So I know about La Llorona.
I've actually never heard of them, which is why.
So La Llorona is again body of water, mermaid. It's a ghost that's near water. I think we did speak about something like this. It does feel like we spoke about a ghost close to water.
Yes, there's a lot of.
Yeah, well, one of them. But yeah, this ghost, La Llorona is.
He has nothing
to.
Silbón has nothing to do with.
Yeah, but still, it gets back to water again. I've always feel like we end up at water. It's just a ghost story, mermaid, and again whistling. I believe La Llorona doesn't like whistling. Googling now whistling. There's a lot of lures about whistling. People do not like whistling. They really, really don't like whistling. I know, and I do theatre work, a lot of theatre work. We're not allowed to whistle in a theatre. But there's like a long story behind it. There's method to the madness.
I'm guessing you tried it out and you didn't like the...
Would you like to hear the story? Must I explain
Go for it.
So, back in the day, in 1618, 1619, thereabouts, the sailors always came from the sea, came back to London, or back to the theatre, and the theatre technicians used sailors to hang stuff in the roof. And sailors used to whistle at each other if they wanted, like, change the sails on a boat. They would have a whistle, like one whistle would be up, 2 whistles would be down, a long whistle would be left to right. They spoke in whistles, and that's even still now in sailors whistle at each other or have whistles. So in theatre, we're not allowed to whistle because that means something's going to move above your head. So we're not allowed to whistle, and we don't whistle. And then after that, there came a lot of, what do you call it?
Folklore.
A lot of folklore about why not and ghost stories and whatever. But it's as simple as something's moving above your head.
Funnily enough,
Don't whistle, yeah.
we were at a dam or something, and a blind man was skiing, but obviously he was blind, so he didn't know how. And they had this whole thing worked out that somebody would stand on the side and use a whistle and whistle a certain tune to tell him turn left, turn right, so he could ski. And then on the water, obviously. And then somebody else blew a whistle while he was skiing, and obviously he turned incorrectly.
Did he fall? Okay.
Yes, so
So water skiing. We were talking about water skiing. Okay.
Yes, water skiing.
It was a dam and then skiing, so let's go water skiing. Okay.
Yes, so that's actually interesting with the different whistling. But anyway,
Well, yeah,
far off track.
Whistling, bad thing, but no more whistling. But back to what you said about what was that part you said? The wind patterns and grassy plains. A lot of, I think it was in Daring Woods, whistles again.
No, it wasn't whistles.
There was whistling, yeah, you had whistling at night.
It wasn't. It was screaming, not whistling.
Well, screaming, whistling, same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same.
But anyway, let's go whistling. Again, it's acoustics can play weird stuff with your mind.
Yes,
I'm
ghosts
not
also,
against
but
believing there is a El Silbón. I'm just saying there's explanation to the whistling, there's explanation to the sights. Again, back to a rural country with not as well off currency. Believing something
the wrong
easier.
way you're explaining it. It's not like that. It's education-wise.
It's education, but you said that exactly now. It's a...
Normally when you... with your richer countries, the education is better and so on, and then they tend to
yeah, exactly.
lose all
Might
the...
be that, yeah.
The folklore and so on. They don't believe that easily, or like, no, why do I need to put something out? It's not true.
But like you said, a cautionary tale. So this was a way of teaching people to be good.
Well, eventually it became
Even
a
if it's
cautionary
made
tale.
up. A lot of our kids' stories we read to our children is made up stories. It's not about a tall thing.
Yes,
killing
but I
people.
wouldn't read something like that to my kid.
But that's the funny thing. Now you go to Germany, and the German people read really, really weird stories to their children.
Well, I don't mean funny, but South Africans also. There's some people here that read stuff to the kids like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but that's kind of normal. Go read
There's
about German
people
stuff.
telling their kids about Tokolosi. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but that's
not
fine.
telling. No, I'm not telling my kids about
that's
a
not
thing
even
that comes
one-
and pulls them out of bed. And no,
Yeah, but that's not even 1% of the things that German people tell their children for bednight stories. It's
no. Some of the stories that my son that our son comes home with, and I think, why would your 5-year-old know about that? So no, you get interesting people out there. I'm not one of them.
I'm going to Google weird German bedtime stories.
But also, if you remember, it's not necessarily that it's now. It's more they made it more child friendly now. It was more back in the olden days, and I mean like plagues and stuff like that. Look at the songs that the rhymes they taught the children. You're singing about somebody sneezing and dying on the spot, types like that. There's just weird stuff. But anyway, here's the thing. If it's all just a story, why do people still report seeing him? Why does the same whistle echo across 2 countries, across generations, across languages? Why do people still go cold when the night wind carries a certain tune? So what do you think? Is El Silbón just a tale to keep people in line?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Or is he still out there, pacing the edge of the Llanos, counting bones and waiting for the next sinner to stumble his way?
It feels like we can't end it this way. It's a lot of unanswered questions in my mind.
Like what?
Who saw it? Where do they find it?
There was 2 accounts I gave you. Like I said, I didn't 100% go.
Yeah,
The problem
we don't
with
want to go
most of-
find it, yeah.
The problem with most of these sightings and so on, you can find that. But because you get your people, your educated people, that don't believe, then you have this problem of they won't report like that. They'll say something weird happened, or it's probably the wind, or so it's not reported in that way. Then it goes through communities and stuff talking. It's like when there's a murder and they can't find a murderer. They know they need to go to the community and see what they are talking between each other because somewhere somebody knows something. It's like that. It's not going to be necessarily on the internet. It's not going to be out there in the headlines. You have to go to the people and find out what happened. It's the same concept. So I cannot tell you John Smith said this and this and this happened because it won't be reported like that.
But even this isn't an old story. This is a current story. People believe in it now. They didn't believe it in the 1600s. It's not like someone died.
Yes, but I promise you, if we travel there and we go talk to the communities, you'll hear about. Like I say, it's in the parades and stuff. There's stories.
I know. When you said parade, I realized who you were talking about. I remember the.
I also remember the.
Have you seen the? I don't know when you did the research. Saw the.
Yes.
The floats with
the
guy on it.
I immediately remembered that when I did it as well, when I was doing it.
At this very moment in 2025, I will not be traveling to Venezuela, I think, to go find out about the Elsa Bone. Not because of the Elsa Bone, but because of Venezuela. It's not going well there now. Just the best thing in Venezuela at the moment is the Elsa Bone, I think.
That's a very sad thing
I know
to say.
It's not to waste too much time, but like I think when I read something Venezuela last week or 2 weeks ago that basically like 76 or something % of the country is run by gangs at the moment.
Wow.
Because of the currency that's so bad. So that's obviously something that happens. I just want to make sure about my facts. I just don't want to.
So they really don't want to meet Elsa Bone because if it's all bad people.
Yeah, it's all bad people. So that's obviously why they made up something.
They did not make it up.
Gangs. It was a shocking piece of fact I read, but it's not going well in Venezuela. I know Colombia, obviously, all the drug cartels allegedly. I'm not sure if it's all the Colombia.
I just want to say, if you're from there, let us know if we're
if
correct.
I'm off topic, apparently it's really bad there.
Is it bad there? Are you doing well? Tell us.
Yeah, but I can't find it now.
Is Pieter-Louis correct? Is
Yeah,
the news correct? Let us know.
Off point. Like I said, I do know it's not going very well in Venezuela. People don't go there now.
According to reports.
According to some reports that I've read. And I know a lot had to do with President Trump as well, saying stuff that offended people. But anyway, back to story.
Well, I'm at the end of a story. So maybe next time you hear someone whistling after dark, you should stop and listen very, very carefully.
Pause for dramatic effect. If you enjoyed diving down this rabbit hole into the world of the weird with us, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share your own thoughts. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for more content. And please share our podcast with fellow folklore lovers to help us grow.
Until next time, stay curious and keep the legend alive. Bye.
Bye.